Good morning. Kev says good morning to everybody. Hi, OCSL. I'm Kamiko. I hope you can hear me. Turn your cameras on, but stay muted if you would, please. We're going to sing our opening song. Y'all ready to sing with me? All right. There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know that the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you're feeling discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let go. Just let it all go. And this is what you got to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more trouble, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more trouble, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here. Raise your voice and say, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more trouble, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Good morning, Oakland CSL. Thank you so much, Kev Choice, Kamiko Joy, that was amazing. And welcome to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, where we teach spiritual principles and practices that nourish us, uplift us, and sustain us, and celebrate our oneness with all of life. I'm Rain Dugan, I'll be your host for this service this morning. And we want to give a special welcome to those of you joining us for the very first time on a Sunday morning. If you'd like to connect with us, please send an email to Constance Chapman, our administrative coordinator, at constance@oaklandcsl.org. In order to maintain a sacred atmosphere this morning, I invite you to take a moment to make sure your microphone is muted and your video is turned off. Now let's take a moment to bless our children, many of whom we'll see later in service today. We'll wait for that blessing to come up. We honor all our youth and children in our community and the world. We love you. We see you. You're a Spirit's gift to us. Thank you for being in our lives. And so it is. I just have a few announcements this morning. Practitioner Lucian Baker will speak at our midweek service this next Wednesday on our December theme of celebrating divine truth. Meditation is at 6:30 p.m. and service at 7. Zoom information for both services is on our website, oaklandcsl.org. Next Sunday, the Compassionate Attention to Loss Ministry, CALM, is having a special session at 12:30 after service to talk about navigating the holidays, remembering and honoring our loved ones. You can find Zoom information on the events page of the website. With Thanksgiving over, and I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving, it's time to move on with the other sacred events of the season and activities that are sacred in our culture, like shopping. Spirit Treasure Bookstore is here to help you with your holiday gift list. You can go to the events page of the website or check the Village News to pre-order the Centers for Spiritual Living Journal for $15 and the CSL Planner for $27.50. You must order by December 4th. We have many more groups, ministries, and events happening here at the Center for Spiritual Living. Check the Village News for links to these activities, and always for information on all that's going on at your Oakland Center, visit our website, oaklandcsl.org. Now, please read along with me our vision and mission statement. The vision of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living is to joyfully reveal the love and oneness of God. We are a welcoming and inclusive spiritual community dedicated to individual transformation and collective growth. Our purpose is to love, inspire, and serve our community and the world through education, music, prayer, and play. And so it is. And now I'd like to pass the service off to Elena Hutchinson.
Hello, good morning. I am Elena Hutchinson. I'm the pulpit assistant for today. Our theme for the month is Living as Compassionate Conduits, and our theme for the week is The Grateful and Cheerful Receiver. We have 2 readings for today. Please allow yourself to settle into whatever space you're occupying, in whatever way allows you to best receive these words. First, from Brene Brown. Until we can receive with an open heart, we're never really giving with an open heart. When we attach judgment to receiving help, we knowingly or unknowingly attach judgment to giving help. And our second reading from our founder, Ernest Holmes. When we stand in the light, we cast a shadow across the pathway of our own experience. Emerson advises us that we get our bloated nothingness out of the way of the divine circuits. So let us allow those words, whatever they have evoked in us, to find a resting place somewhere in our consciousness as we move into prayer. There is only one presence, one power, one beingness of love and light that is the source of all goodness, that one thing that so loved the creation that it poured itself into it, simply to cherish it, delight in it. It is the life that is the life of every living creature, holding us, sustaining us. It is our very breath. And I am that. I am that one physical form, that one point in time and space where God shows up as me in the world, where God shares its essence with me, and I share my experience with God. As I know this for myself, I know it for every person here. every person who is across time and space participating in this service, each person who hears the sound of my voice, each one of us is that essence of God, of spirit in human form, the embodiment of divine intelligence, creativity, love, joy. I bless this service, this coming together, this experience of oneness that we are all co-creating here. I bless Lucian as he allows spirit to show up as him. I bless each one of the children who will speak today, each with their own unique beauty, whether it's with their words or their enthusiasm or their innocence, or by virtue of some quality of the divine that they are expressing today. I know that each one of them has the capacity to touch our hearts and to illuminate for us our connection to the divine. I bless each person who's participating in this service, our musicians, our host, our technical team, everyone who is lending their presence to this gathering. I bless Reverend Jeff, knowing wholeness and peace for him as he follows his path of healing. I bless our other ministers, Reverend Jerry, Francione, Tony, and Sally. I bless our beloved practitioner emeritus, Richard Robinson, as he goes on to his next adventure in this eternal life. I bless all of our practitioners and volunteers and every person who offers their energy and their presence to this community, whether by giving or receiving or both. As I speak my word for this community, I know that all of our good has already been given to us by a loving God, that the only thing left to complete the gift is for us to receive it. That as we find within ourselves even a tiny willingness to receive, the grace of God meets us and pours its goodness into us. I know that in the realm of spirit, there is no separation between the giving and the receiving. And when someone offers us a gift, a thing of value, an offer of help, a gesture of warmth, our willingness to receive from them graciously, cheerfully, is our gift to them. It is in the giving and receiving that we become the channels for God's goodness to flow into the world, and in that flow, we experience our oneness and our wholeness. It is in that flow that we know the peace of God. I am so grateful to know that it is our very nature to be willing, open channels for the flow of spirit to complete those circuits. And so I speak my word into the law, knowing that it is in the nature of the law to simply give a yes. I release my word into that eternal flow. I let go and let God. And so it is. And now, the universe's gift to me in this moment is that I get to turn this over to Kamiko Joy and Kev Choice.
Thank you. This is a song written by Jonathan McReynolds. I added a little science of mind twist to it. It's just a reminder that in the midst of our deepest challenges, like this year, that even in those moments, the goodness of God is fully present. May your struggles keep you near the source, and may your troubles show that peace is yours, and may your Peace is yours, and may your battles in the way they should. May your hard times prove that God is good. May your whole life prove that God is good. God is good through it all. In the darkness, God is good. And may your hard times prove that God is good. May your whole life prove that God is good. May your hard times prove that God is All right. Thank you for the good vibes. We hope you were able to sing along with us. Next, we'd like to pass it on to Revolution Baker. Love you guys.
Shout out to Kevin Kamiko. That was another home run, as expected. How's everybody doing on this Sunday? Shout out to my babies, my youth. I see them in the house. And we are talking about being a compassionate conduit once again. And so I just have one simple question right now for my babies. Unmute yourselves. Don't be trying to be shy. I see that. Let's start off with an easy one. Who wants to tell me what is compassion?
Compassion is when you care for others.
Okay. Thank you, Olivia. I appreciate that. Anybody else have an idea what compassion is? Hey, Mari, what's going on?
What compassion means to me is caring for other people when they're sad. And I'm compassionate for the animals because recently I started being vegetarian.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Ollie, what up? Can you top that? Your sister's always shining, boy.
What I think compassion means is caring for people when they're down and making them cheer up.
All right. Okay. That is great. I love these kids. Anybody else want to tell us what their idea of compassion may be?
I think compassion.
I'm fine.
No. I think compassion means to let others shine and take somebody up when they're down and not always think that you're better than somebody because everybody is equal.
All right. That's great. I wish I thought like that when I was y'all's ages. Anybody else before we move on to the next question? All right. Azariah, why is compassion important?
Compassion is important because it's important because when you feel compassion for others, you're considerate and caring. Okay. Yeah, it's important. Very much important.
It is. Anybody else? Can anybody else tell me why compassion is important? Hey, Jazz.
important because it's important because you need to be nice to people so people can be nice to you.
All right. Who has a short story about a time when they were compassionate to someone?
I have a short story. So there was this time when I was like little. It was a really rainy day, and I saw someone without like an umbrella, and I was kind of upset about that. So like maybe a few years later, I decided to do an umbrella drive.
I remember that. That's awesome. That is awesome. Anyone else? Thank you, Olivia. Go ahead, Ollie.
One time I felt compassionate is for the homeless people. We made all these packets for them and drove around giving them to people.
All right. All right. I love it. Anyone else?
Time that I felt compassionate was that there were people that were around our neighborhood and they didn't have any food. So I decided that we could make a pantry for free food and people could come in and get food that they wanted so that they wouldn't be hungry.
I love it. All right. Here's a question for my babies. How can we, as humans, as humanity, as Americans, as just human beings in general, how can we be more compassionate? There we go. I like to see y'all thinking. Yeah, I'm proud of myself.
We can be more compassionate. Wait, what was the question?
How can we be more compassionate?
We can be more compassionate by understanding that some people have different things going on behind the scenes and that we have to be nice to people even though they may not be nice to us.
Love it. Hey, Mari.
Liar! And we have to start caring and notice when other people are sad and like cheer them up.
All right. Zariah. Thank you, Mari.
Hi. How do I say this? We can be more compassionate by trying to understand people more, knowing that like not everyone thinks the same, and stuff. It's just like to understand when like people are going through stuff that you really don't understand or. Pearl. But hi, there's my cat Pearl. Just like be more considerate and like compassionate and by like trying to understand people or like trying to help people more and not like be more selfless.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all are so awesome. I love y'all. Y'all are looking more and more like your parents every day. Let me just say that also. So fun to watch y'all grow up. Anybody else? Please don't be shy. All right. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all sharing your wisdom. We all know that the babies are the closest ones to God. And so we need y'all to use your voices because as adults, as we go through life paying bills and dealing with coworkers, sometimes we may lose sight of that truth that y'all are so close to. So it's important that y'all use your voices so that we as adults can remember. So thank you for that. And shout out to my children, Olivia and Ajamu, for being compassionate toward me this morning because I needed y'all. And I know that you like to sleep on Sunday mornings and watch your cartoons or whatever it is the kids do. And you had compassion for me. Thank you, Maureen Ali. Thank you, Zaza. Thank you, Jazz. Thank you. Thank you, all the babies who came in on this call this morning. I love you so, so much. Thank you. You can watch your cartoons now, all of you. Compassion. is a very important thing.
Mari has her hand up.
Oh, I didn't see that. I'm so sorry, Mari. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead, Mari.
Another thing I feel compassionate for is Reverend Jeff, and we prayed for him a lot.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. And Reverend Jeff is a very compassionate man as well. Y'all are awesome. Anyone else? I don't want to do what I just did a second ago. I'm looking. Okay. Thank you, y'all. I love you. Compassion is very important. And I just want to start out by saying something that I'm sure some of you know, but not all of you know about me, is that I am not that patient at times. And so I'm laughing because I remember a time when my grandmother would be forcing me to go to teen church and I didn't want to, and it'd be youth Sunday. And I would literally be hiding from the adults so that I wouldn't have to do anything that was related to youth Sunday. I remember literally hiding and being like, no, I don't want to do it. And so getting to be on the other side of that experience is hilarious to me because I see it come full circle. How can I be a compassionate conduit? Well, I think that we all have the giving part down very well. A lot of us know to give compassion. A lot of us know to be that person who is compassionate toward others. But really realizing how it comes full circle is we have to be willing to receive it as well. I know there's a lot of jokes I've been seeing on the internet about my somebody I admire, who is Nate Robinson. I'm also 5'9". Could never dunk like him though, but something about Nate Robinson that we forget is that he was an awesome passer in the league. And when I look at this game of basketball, I realize that we all want to shine as a team. So if I give you this amazing pass that leaves you open for a shot, I want you to be able to make that shot. I don't want you to just pass the ball. I want you to dunk that thing. And times what I see going on is that we're willing to give compassion, but when it's our turn to give it to ourselves, we're not always open to receiving it. And both are just as equally as important. Where does your compassion come from? The universe always says yes, we know this. So when I see myself going through life feeling depressed, feeling like I'm not enough, I have to remember that I am only seeing in my life what starts in my mind already. I remember a time at work when there was a customer at a job I was working at, and he came in with a really bad attitude. And he was really nasty toward me, and I was having a bad day, so I'll admit I was nasty toward him too. And so he and I were in this exchange of egos with each other. And I remember the next day I saw him, he apologized toward me and told me, I am sorry for how I acted the other day. I had just gotten back from my doctor and I received some really bad news, and I was angry. And just in that moment, I realized that if I was in the same situation as him, I probably would have acted maybe even worse. Truth is, just like Olivia said, we never know what anybody is going through. And the way we feel about ourselves is always going to reflect in how we treat the world around us, which means nothing is ever personal. Nothing at all is ever personal. I can only treat you how I treat myself. So if I'm going through life feeling angry and feeling nasty toward those, that is all something that started within me first, and I am only expressing it out into the world. This is why we need compassion, especially in these times where the entire world is affected by the same thing. If it's any beautiful message that comes out of this COVID thing that we are dealing with, it is that we are all connected and that we all must show compassion toward each other. My grandmother says that there's a blessing and a lesson in every experience. And so that's the one I want to take from this. I remember visiting City of Refuge. It's a wonderful ministry that's not far from us in East Oakland. And it was time for prayer, and I was holding this woman's hand. And as Bishop Flunder began to talk about forgiveness, this woman broke down crying while she was holding my hand. Just the word forgiveness. And what I felt in that moment was that this woman had a regret that was so deep for her that she didn't know if she could forgive herself for whatever it is she experienced. Now, I myself, thankfully, haven't come across something like that in my life, but I do know what it feels like when you're like, I wonder if I can forgive myself. I wonder if I can give myself that same compassion. And in order for us to truly be compassionate conduits, we have to give ourselves that same compassion we wish to give to the rest of the world. For me not to receive that compassion means I am robbing that other person of the full circle experience. You gave me an open shot with that pass. I am supposed to dunk it. Just like if I give you a pass, I want you to do the same thing. So today, as we go through our lives wanting and knowing how to be compassionate conduits, remember that we must also be willing to move our egos out of the way and receive that pass. I want to thank my children for helping me shine today. I am just in just total awe and so thankful of our center. Oakland CSL, we have no idea how awesome we are. We say we do, we have no idea what we have done for our city and for this philosophy that we practice and love so much. Shout out to my baby, shout out to the music, shout out to everyone, shout out to Reverend Jeff. Thank you so much, Richard, for the light you shine on me and for our conversations. I know you hear me. I can see that face, and I'm so appreciative of you. I want to acknowledge our prayers this morning. Shout out to this month's nonprofit partner, which is Presida Valley Community Center. They deliver culturally festive, multi-generational, community-based services focused on low-income families and seniors. And our prayers for our planet Mother Earth. Gratitude for her beauty and resilience and our increasingly mindful stewardship of her. Thank you, Mother Earth. We bless those in service, creating a world that works for everyone, for we know that God is that abundant, that a world that works for everyone is already in existence and awaiting on us to catch up to it. We bless our youth and the youth of the entire world, knowing they are guided by the loving mind and heart of spirit, and that they are the seed of the present and future. Love, comfort, and healing for those impacted by challenges in whatever form. We send prayers to our beloved Reverend Jeff Anderson, to Jamil Johnson, to Cynthia, Merry Christmas, Phyllis Danzler, Phyllis, Volmi, and Layla. All those impacted by the fires, COVID-19, and floods, peace and comfort for Don Rose, who's the uncle of Judith Roberts. Richard Robinson, RSCP Emeritus. His family, friends, and OCSL membership. We love you, and I don't want to say you will be missed, for I know that as long as all of our hearts are beating, you have not gone anywhere. I love you and thank you so much. And I invite our entire community to speak the names of anyone in our hearts right now in need of prayer. I'll take a moment. Ashe, ashe, ashe. And now, a video from none other than our own Reverend Jeff Anderson.
Morning, everyone. I'm sitting here by one of my favorite rivers in one of my favorite seasons, which is fall. And I thought about how many times I sat beside this river and how many seasons and how life is like that. I've been watching the last couple of months, the last season of a friend of ours, at least the last season in his human carnation, and that's our Richard Robinson, who transitioned this weekend, peacefully and surrounded by his friends and loved ones. We are fortunate that Richard just recently recorded a live video for us that will be the last thoughts, wishes, hopes, and dreams of Richard Robinson. So definitely worth keeping. I want to share that with you this morning.
Two minutes, maximum length? You got to be kidding, Reverend Jeff. After 65 years in the study of metaphysics, the science of mind, and Ernest, you want to boil down to 2 minutes. Backstory here. I had a physical healing in 1952 or 53 via Ernest's radio program in Southern California during my high school years. When in 1954, I went to LA for my art school training. I went to the Wiltern Theater to experience firsthand this teacher and his teachings. Today, I've been to over 35 religious science visits from New York City, Diamond Head, from Seattle to Florida. At Founders LA, I first discovered all those books and writings Ernest had left for us. I think we could have made more of these treasured writings and insights he gave to us. But we got sidetracked many times over these years, and the original basic tenets of science of mind have been overlooked many times when they should have been dusted off, researched, and used in our trying times. We can reach back into Ernest's words and metaphysics for revelatory healings, this thing called life, words that heal, creative ideas, for a few examples. When I walked into First Church Religious Science Oakland, I heard a female version of Ernest. It was eye-opening. It was heart-opening. It was Reverend Margaret Storrs. I planted my feet on solid ground and staked out my pew location in our sanctuary. Now, some 46 years later, I'm still here. Reverend Jess asked of us, what is the best that OCSL has contributed to your life so far? For me, it is group encounter, community, my tribe of like-minded thinkers. As Mrs. Eddy told us, it is time for a thinking man's religion. I want the red meat. I want the real stuff. And science of mind, religious science, gives me the backbones to remember my direct connection to God and my Holy Spirit within. The connection to the full mystery of God's universe. That is the correction I am called to always remember, that God and I are one.
And so it is kind of like life, isn't it? I learned a lot from Richard. We didn't always agree on everything, but I did come to love him and love him today and miss him already. I miss that character already. So Godspeed, Richard, on your journey. We love you and wish you the best. Blessed be.
Ashe, ashe, ashe. And now it is time for our gracious giving. We know that God is abundant and that we give from the overflow, for we cannot outgive God, for God is unlimited. Just wait for our gracious giving statement to come up. There we go. Oh, there it is. Joyously, I give with an attitude of abundance, knowing that as I give, I do receive, and so it is. And so, in this moment, I am knowing that all is well and all is perfect. I bless this moment. Yes. I'm sorry, go ahead, Elena.
My turn.
Yeah, I was feeling it.
Hey, I don't want to stop you. Thank you again to Lucian, to all our musicians, to everyone who helped to breathe life into this service. Zoe DeMuro will be hosting an upper room service today. So if you would like to get a one-on-one brief prayer, 5 minute, 3 minute, 2 minute, whatever we're calling it these days, just stay on the call and that will be arranged through the magic of technology. Our practitioners are also available for prayer outside of the upper room. In addition to the longer sessions, individual sessions that some of our practitioners offer, several are offering during COVID a shorter 30-minute session that is actually free. You can find this information on our website. We also have a prayer hotline where you can leave a request and we will hold your request in prayer during the week. The number for the prayer hotline is also on our website. And right now, I think it's on our Contact Us page. So let us turn now to our closing affirmation. Please follow along with me. And if your mic is muted, please feel free to say it right out loud. We'll let it come up. I stand with my body and heart open to goodness. And I know that there is nothing that separates me from the river of life that flows through me as I give and I receive. And now I turn this over again to Kev Choice and Kamiko Joy to pray us out with song.
All right, thank you so much for that beautiful service. We're going to end with Blessed Always featuring Kev Choice on vocals and piano.
Blessed
Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and Savior. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say
Give thanks, blessed Sunday to everybody. Hope you have a beautiful, beautiful week. Welcome in.
Thank you all.
Welcome in. Blessings.
Love you guys.
Thank you, everyone. That's the end of our
Special
service.
guest. Thanks to Kamiko for blessing us.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. This concludes our formal part of our service. Please feel free to open your cameras, your mics, say hello, and please stay on if you'd like a prayer.
Kev, what up?
Good morning, everybody. Great.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
See
everybody.
you.
Spotlight.